I just totally believe that funerals are for the living, not for the dead. I'm Edward Lujan. I'm retired, was in the insurance business for many, many years. I was one of the founders of the National Hispanic Cultural Center, still very active there.
Well, one day Daddy called me to talk about funeral arrangements for him and for my mother. And I thought, I don't really want to talk about that. It seemed kind of a hard thing and scary.
They had some reservations about me pre-planning because they didn't want to think about it. But the minute we went in there and the minute they started telling us what pre-planning meant, all the fears went away. I kidded them some and I said, I'm not going to give them a date. So it kind of broke it up a little bit.
So we sat down, my father, a couple of my brothers, and myself. And the gentleman was so sweet and so helpful, and he had a whole list of questions that he knew we would ask, which was nice.
During those interviews, one of the questions was, how many crosses do you want? I automatically said, well, we need 4 of them. I have 4 children.
As we went down the list, he said, what about a cross? You know, you get a cross, and then they present you the cross at the cemetery. And I said, Daddy, we don't want a cross from them. I don't.
And I was startled over it. And then she looked at the other kids and said, we want him to make the crosses.
My father's a woodworker, and he does beautiful work. He's given pieces to all of our family members, our kids, our grandkids, and we all have them and cherish them.
And so I immediately went home and started making the crosses, and I made 4 crosses for my wife and 4 crosses for me.
So he packed them up in these little envelopes. I have them in a box stored away, and they're not coming out. Well, I don't know when they're coming out, but we have them. The whole experience planning my parents' funerals, it took me by surprise, but it didn't feel like the end of something. It was actually comforting.
The pre-planning process to me, and I think to them, was a gift. Because when the time comes, they don't have to plan it. They don't have to second guess what I wanted or second guess what their mother wanted.
My father's a really giving man, very, very thoughtful. And he thought someday when the day comes, we could concentrate on each other and our family